Georgie and Mandy's first marriage will continue bringing in characters from young Sheldon, and this time, it will feature the prequel's most underrated player. Forced to end because of the Big Bang Theory's timeline, the young Sheldon finale was capped off with Sheldon's move to California. However, his family's story in Texas continues, particularly for Georgie and Mandy, as they navigate their new life with the McAllisters. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 1 has already had young Sheldon cameos, and it's about to add one more once it returns from its mandatory winter hiatus. Taking to his official Instagram account, Doc Farrow reveals that he will reprise his role as Coach Wilkins in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. The image doesn't reveal anything about how he fits into Georgie and Mandy's new life, but in the caption, he expresses his excitement and gratitude for the chance to revisit his role in young Sheldon. Check out his post below. What Coach Wilkins' appearance means for Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. It's always good to see George's best friend. Because Farrow doesn't give any story details, it's difficult to assume what his upcoming cameo in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage will entail. That being said, it's worth noting that, while it is a brand new show, it is spiritually a continuation of young Sheldon. Georgie and Mandy remain in Medford, but since they now live with the McAllisters on the other side of the town, the show can get away with not featuring the Cooper family as frequently as in young Sheldon. Coach Wilkins should still be coaching at Medford, making his appearance easy to explain regardless of the role he will play. However, seeing Farrow back as Coach Wilkins is a treat, especially for those who watched young Sheldon in its earlier seasons. While the Big Bang Theory prequel decreased his involvement in later years due to its changing storytelling approach, the character was always a scene stealer. He always managed to make himself stand out. Additionally, he was also one of the very few people who had connections to George's life beyond his family. In fact, he and Principal Peterson Rex Lynn delivered the news of George's death to his clan. Our take on the young Sheldon characters returning in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage thus far. Anyone from young Sheldon can return in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. All members of Georgie's family have already appeared at least once in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, except Sheldon, who still hasn't come home since moving to California for his postgraduate studies. Even Dale already mingled with the McAllisters during the show's first Thanksgiving special. Moving forward, Pastor Jeff will also appear in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage to mediate between Mary and Audrey as they continue to fight. If Chuck Lorre and his writers are able to find a way to bring him back, then it's certainly possible to see other supporting fan-favorite characters from young Sheldon, such as Dr. Sturgis and Paige. With the connection with the Coopers already established, the upcoming returns of Coach Wilkins and Pastor Jeff suggest that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is open to keeping young Sheldon's legacy alive by also bringing back supporting characters. Technically, Farrow's character doesn't have anything to do with Georgie and Mandy outside of his ties to George. If Chuck Lorre and his writers are able to find a way to bring him back, then it's certainly possible to see other supporting fan-favorite characters from young Sheldon, such as Dr. Sturgis and Paige. How Coach Wilkins' appearance continues to keep George's legacy alive after young Sheldon. As previously mentioned, Coach Wilkins' ties to the Cooper family are mainly through his relationship with George. Despite their rare outings in the latter years of young Sheldon, it was firmly established that they remained close until the end of the Cooper patriarch's life, as both coached the same team at Medford High School. It's worth noting, however, that Georgie was once part of that very same football squad until he quit the game and school altogether. It's no secret that the only reason Sheldon's father died at the end of the prequel was because it was firmly established in canon. Regardless of the reason for Coach Wilkins' appearance in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, his cameo will continue the latest Big Bang Theory show's attempt to keep George's legacy alive past the end of young Sheldon. It's no secret that the only reason Sheldon's father died at the end of the prequel was because it was firmly established in canon. Without it, he could have lived, and the show likely would have continued. Sadly, Laura was adamant about honoring the Big Bang Theory's continuity. Even though he is no longer around, George's presence is felt throughout Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, as his family copes with the sudden loss of their patriarch. The young Sheldon finale showed Coach Wilkins also struggling to deal with the massive tragedy. At one point, even Mary had to comfort him. It's likely that he remains heartbroken about George's passing, as it hasn't been long since that unfortunate day. Therefore, his appearance in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage could involve bringing up and memorializing his late friend.